So today makes officially 6 months since we moved out of our house, put a bunch of our stuff in storage, and moved full-time into our Airstream to live, work, travel, run our online fitness business out of this trailer. And truth be told, lately we've kind of been struggling.
Not to run the business, but not to take care of our clients the absolute best way that we can, but to continue to grow Digital Barbell the way that we really want to. So today we're going to talk openly about what it's been like, also celebrate 6 months of doing this, of living full-time in a travel trailer, but to talk openly about what it's been like to try to run a business full-time as well as take care of our health and fitness ourselves.
Yeah, you've got some notes, so let's just get right into it and kind of go through each of the kind of sections of this reality.
Yeah. So I think, like, you know, when we dreamed up this process, like, you don't know what it's going to be like. We had an idea, but we really didn't know what it was going to be like. We had all these thoughts running through our heads, but we're still living in a house, still running our business. You know, we had the perfect setup there. We had a house and then a separate office, gymatorium that we used to call it. Things were easy. We never had to leave the property. And so, you know, I think we pictured, you know, seeing different parts of the country. We imagined ourselves like traveling and doing Digital Barbell meetups and like meeting some of the amazing clients that we have. We envisioned traveling up and like up to the East Coast and meeting our coach Haley for the first time ever in person. Like, we've known her for over 4 years, but never met her in person, and like working alongside her for a bit of time. You know, we imagined, like, I think cruising up and down the East Coast, just like making stops,
maybe going out to California
for a few days, and like, you know, and then moving on from the next city.
Yeah.
So that was like the dream.
Kind of the expectations, just based on what you see online and just conversations that we had,
and just kind of what we wanted to do, like what we like. Why were we even going to give up what we had to do this? And that's kind of what the dream was.
And there was a financial side to the dream also. Like, we ran through so many budgets of what we thought it was going to look like financially, how much money that was going to be able to let us set aside for buying our own house, you know, having a down payment, and for contributing more to retirement and all that kind of stuff. So we had expectations.
Basically, the place we were living, we had rented for 4 years. It was like my dream property, my dream house, my dream situation, and we really wanted to be able to create that for ourselves because we knew renting forever was not going to be an option. So that was another big factor in why we decided to take this leap. So what's the reality check? What has really happened?
Where do you want to start?
We really haven't traveled that much at all.
I think
in 6 months.
How many different states have we slept in?
We've really only put one more sticker on our little United States.
That's not true. Arizona.
Oh yeah, we put.
And Arkansas.
We put 2 more stickers on our map.
Those are just states that we had never traveled to and slept in before.
There's only 4 stickers on the whole map, and one of them is Texas. So
like, the truth is, like, we have spent a lot of time, like, in the town that we moved out of, and also in Texas, because we have a lot of family in different parts of Texas. And then we've gone back to some familiar places that we've been. We've met up with some friends. Yeah.
So I think the real why is, it comes down to 4 things. Cost is number 1. Time is number 2. Keeping up with our own fitness is number 3, and decision fatigue was number 4. Of like, why the like Instagram versus reality didn't like quite work out like it has in the first 6 months. But I will say, I know, number 1, we are extremely lucky to be able to even have this opportunity. So like, I'm so thankful that we even have the opportunity, that we own a business that has the ability to just be mobile, as mobile as it is. And I also realize 6 months it feels like it's been a really long time, but it's not a long time, and we're still totally newbies at this. So it could definitely be a thing where we just aren't very good at it yet. So going into this conversation, I'm fully aware of both of those things.
Yeah, there's been a lot of learning experiences.
So I think the first thing was cost. Like, we envisioned being able to like save so much money. I mean, you're living in a trailer.
It's going to cost nothing. It's
going to cost almost nothing. You see, like, the YouTubes, and people are just like stopping on the side of the road, sleeping in Walmart parking lots. They like, you know, and we saw that as like this opportunity to like, oh my gosh, we can like save for our own dream house one day, like, so quickly while we're running our business. And
there are people who do live off nothing. Like, they're okay with sleeping at Walmart or parking in the woods and having no electricity There are those people out there, but we learned quickly that that's not us. We knew that wasn't going to be us, but we reaffirmed quickly that's not us.
Yeah,
it doesn't work for our
us.
business.
We have to have internet. We need electricity. It's hot in Texas where we've been most of the
time.
Hot
everywhere.
And we're not comfortable just like pulling off on the side of the road and sleeping somewhere illegally. Like that's not for me. Okay. So, I mean, the cost has been so much higher than we thought. Like, if you were really to just like stay at like RV parks and like stop for a few days and move on, the cost of like the nightly rates at these places plus the gas or diesel that we have to put into the car to move all the time was crazy. We did like a test month trip, not really a test, but we did a month trip.
We were living it.
And, you know, we went through from like Texas into like New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado, and we were blown away by how much it cost to stay and how much it cost to fuel that trip.
Yeah, that trip was kind of like a reality check. Like, if we keep doing it this way, not only is it not going to be savings, but it's going to cost more than we were spending to live in the house.
We like realized quickly we can't move as fast as we did. In a month, we covered a lot of ground. It was super fun, but it cost way too much money to do that. And like,
we also learned the more you travel, like the more wear and tear you're putting on the trailer and on the truck. So unexpected repairs come up, like what happened to us a couple months ago. You know, that was an expensive repair, and like it's hard. We did have a budget in there for trailer maintenance and car maintenance, but with more travel, it costs even more than what you're probably expecting.
Yeah. So number one, the expectation versus reality is like, oh, we thought we could just like pop around and travel, you know, like, but the reality was we would have to travel a lot slower to make it affordable. Staying for a week or a month long time at an RV park saves you so much money. Yeah. So that was like kind of the first thing. I think the second piece has been fitness. Like for me, like, I mean, for the past like 15 years, this like fitness has been my business, and it's also been a huge part of my life. And in this past 6 months, it's been the biggest hurdle. It's really what I was the most afraid of leaving the house, because we had, you know, I've owned gym and we had my own gym forever. Yeah. So that was going to be the biggest piece, is like now having to rely on public gyms or our own equipment or schedules and all that kind of stuff. And that's been the biggest thing. Like, we have been, I think, getting by on like that some is better than nothing. We've really been doing a good job of like prioritizing our workouts, but they're not like the way they used to look. They're not most of the time. They're not with barbells because we don't have access to them with what we travel with, and most of the time they're like in a park or something like that.
There's usually some weird constraints, like you're right outside your camper for whatever reason,
or the weather.
Yeah, or, they're abbreviated because it's so hot, or like, you know.
And we were in public gyms, like we have to really time it. Like, you know, there's certain times that these are crowded or open, and you really have to like adjust your schedule to be there at the right time for that. Like, all the equipment is taken or whatever it is, you know. It's been a major adjustment compared to just like what we were used to. It's definitely been doable, and I think we have been doing a good job at getting our fitness in, but it hasn't been like as good as it was. And living in a space like this, it's very small, and like you get like 50 steps in here like in a day, just like compared to a house, like what you just accumulate. And
or if you work in an office and you're going to people's offices and the bathroom and lunch and all that stuff.
Right. And so like that has been a huge thing. Like my watch, you know how Apple like reminds you to do everything, like it's time to breathe, it's time to stand up.
Time to breathe.
By the way, your steps are way low this year, you know. Like it's been reminding me of all those things, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Jonathan, this is lower, this is lower, this is lower. And it's really been like affecting my mindset of like how much more we have to work for the steps, how much harder it is to get those, and just to be active. Like, I don't like sitting down a lot, and it's a big piece of it.
And if you go into this lifestyle with the expectation that you're going to be traveling a lot, like, you probably forget that a lot of that time traveling, I mean, is just sitting on your butt, not getting any steps. So like on those days that you're traveling, you have to somehow fight for a way to get activity in, let alone like a legitimate workout. Take yesterday as an example. We drove for 8 or 9 hours. We rolled into the park that we were staying at. I think my steps were at 2,500, and we did as much as we could to like be active, walk the dogs. Probably ended the day at like 6,500 steps, which we always try to get 10,000 or more. And then today was also a drive day.
But we did a good job today.
Right. So
we got up early and went for like a 3-mile jog, run or whatever, because we were like, we're not going to make that same mistake again.
So there's been all those trade-offs, and I think the summary of that is like, we are doing good at prioritizing our health still as far
Yeah.
as the workouts, but they're not as effective as workouts as we've been used to for the last 10 plus years.
Yeah, I would say the cons is like we're more in the category of like something is better than nothing.
Yeah.
We're doing something most days of the week, but it's not as much as we used to do, which is okay for a season. I would say like we're like, you know, what do you call it? Like when you're like a novice, we're like advanced
yeah.
lifters, advanced worker outers, whatever you want to call it. So I think that it's okay for a season for us to like take a little bit off and not do as much, but I don't want to have that forever. But I would say the pro is we have been doing a lot more running. Like, you know, it's easy to get access to running trails or running areas or treadmills or something at these gyms.
Yeah.
And so I have really taken up more running than I ever have before in my whole life.
No, but I would say we actually kind of enjoy it now. Like we don't.
Ish. Yeah.
I think you enjoy it more than you let on.
Yeah.
And then like going along with fitness, not just the working out, but we have done a good job still of staying on top of our normal nutrition habits, which is like huge.
Yeah.
Like,
we have a kitchen right there.
Right.
You know?
Like, you know, workouts might not be as productive as they have been in the past, but nothing has really changed with our diet.
That's true.
We still eat the same foods. We still cook almost all of our food here, enjoy food to its fullest when we go out.
Yeah.
And that's just like something that's baked in and was never a question we were going to continue. So we're killing it on that.
So we did bring our like digital bathroom scale with us, and I hadn't like really weighed myself for like the first several months that we started doing this, because like it's like when you park these things, sometimes you're not 100% even, and like
The floor's a little squishy.
Yeah, I would get a bunch of different readings on the scale, so I was like, what's worth it? And so then like maybe 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, I decided to like, oh, let me try it again, and I weigh like 4 pounds more than I did when we left the house, and I like my instant thing was like a freak out, like, Jonathan, look what has happened.
We're done. We're moving back to the house.
I would say, like, if you were to ask me, I would have, without me knowing the number, I would have said, I think I've lost weight. And so I feel like, because I don't feel like
your body
I've gained.
composition has improved, even though your weight has gone up. So.
Yeah. So what did you say? Like,
I have two
what is the theory?
two main theories. Is that
educate us?
Well, number one, like you completely eliminated alcohol coincidentally around the time that we moved into this,
and no sugar at night. Like I don't think
stopped having dessert
at night or
so
anything like that.
but so like I think that, you know, not having any alcohol in the evening is improving your sleep quality, and of course that's like when you build and repair muscle tissue. And then number two, like you have like improving your body composition is also dependent on this like catabolic anabolic relationship. What you do in the gym is the catabolic part, the breaking down. What you eat and how you sleep and recover is the anabolic side. And to grow new muscle, you have to have more of the anabolic stuff outweigh the stuff that you're doing in the gym. So your sleep is improved, your training volume, the amount of catabolic stress that you're putting on your body has come down. I think you've built more muscle in this time because you have done those things.
Even though I'm just working with mostly dumbbells.
And that muscle has weight. You're building muscle, your weight is going up, you're not gaining fat.
I like it.
I mean, that's a solid science-backed theory right there.
All right. I'm happy with it.
I feel like my body composition is worse, even though my weight's the same. But I think it's because I don't have, you know, I'm not giving the same stimulus to my muscles with like, you know, 300-pound back squats and 300-pound deadlifts as I have been for a long time. So, but I know it's a temporary time, so I'm not too concerned about it.
The dumbbells that we have, like I can still get a good and effective workout with the weights because they're okay for me. But for Jonathan, because you're so strong. It's something, but it's not the best for you. Yeah, we can't carry like up to like 100-pound dumbbells with us.
Well, our truck's already overweight, as you'll see in another YouTube video coming up.
Okay. I would say the next thing has been decision fatigue.
Yeah.
That's what we talked about.
It's
so we
a real
had cost.
thing.
I think I skipped time. Sorry.
Okay.
I totally skipped time. Yeah, time.
Ooh, time.
Time has probably been the biggest one.
Man, we are going to have so much time when we move into that camper. Like, what are we going to do with all the spare time? We don't have to clean as much. There's only like 2 soap pumps in this whole thing to refill. There's only 1 toilet with toilet paper you have to refill.
The idea, and I also thought I was like going to know where everything is because it's such a small space. Like I have lost everything in here because things are like pushed into weird corners that you wouldn't expect them to. Like just the other day I was like, this is where I put that. It's behind the trash can. I'm like, why would it be behind the trash can?
Because it had to be.
That's the only place it can go. So yeah, it's way less organized than I ever was in a house, and it's a lot less time.
What's up with the time?
And so I would say that like we're running a full-time coaching business from our trailer. So that's literally a full-time job.
Yeah.
Like, it requires us to have full-time working hours. Add in driving, I would say that's an easy one, because one of us can drive, one of us can work. Like, for the past 2 days, Jonathan has been kind enough to drive, and I have just been able to sit in the passenger seat and work. I would be at a desk, I have my computer, and with internet and hotspots and all the things, like, it's super easy. So that's not a big thing. It's been the planning, really, like, that has been almost like a second part-time job for us, to like plan around, like, where are we going? Like, what's the weather like we got to check the weather, where are we going to stay,
what's going to be available, what are the reviews on the place.
Like, and if we did, like, when we were moving a little bit faster, we would get there, we would barely be able to, like, even get a routine, and then it would be time to plan the next one. And it just
you start planning the next one as soon as you get there, if you're only staying for 2 or 3 days at a place.
I would say being a newbie, we really wanted to not be planned out, like, not say, like, okay, we've got 6 months mapped. I really wanted to be, like, able to, like, move with the weather, and, like, okay, if it looks bad this way, then we'll go this way. And I thought that would be less stress, but honestly, it added, like, so much more stress, because every day it was like, where are we going? What are we doing? Yeah. So,
and just because we're an online fitness coaching business, this decision fatigue becomes a real thing when you're trying to make changes to your health also. It's like, when you can do a bazillion different things to hopefully help your health, all the stuff that you see on social media and on the TV and all that kind of stuff, it's so overwhelming. You're like, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. Like, you have to, like, narrow the scope, find somebody that you trust, and follow their advice.
So I would say, like, that's been one of the biggest, like, thing that we did not see coming, but when we left the house, that has been the biggest obstacle. It's not only created, like, a time suck of, like, all the extra time of, like, when we would be dedicating to, like, the building of the business. Like I said,
Extra
we're not
stuff.
like, we're still, like, doing everything that we can for our clients, and everything that it takes to run the business, but there's definitely other things that we used to do and still like to do to continue to grow the business. And like, I think that's the thing, that the time is just, like, sucked away. And
we're talking about, like, special projects. Like, if you go to our website, on the free section, there's all these free resources. Like, those took a lot of time to develop, and they just started as an idea to do it, and then we executed on it. But, like, between the driving and the extra time that the chores take around here, it's more like we don't even think about those kinds of things, because the time isn't there to do them.
And that time suck has also created more stress, and I think, like, more, like, stress between us too. Really honestly, it's like, it's just been it's been weird. So I would say
what she's trying to say is we've argued a lot more in the last 6 months because of all those things that we've just said. Like, and we're the kind of people that can drive across the country together in a car and, like, not get sick of each other. But there are a lot of, like, relational challenges and all these decisions that have to be made, unless one person just doesn't care at all and one person loves to do planning, which isn't us.
And so that brings us to the last one, is the decision fatigue. I realized that we were way too vague before we left. We said, we're going to go west toward, like, Idaho, where we used to live, and we're going to go east to the East Coast and, meet clients and do our little, little East Coast thing. And like, that's, like, not
in the fall when everybody else is trying to be there also.
Well, that's not even an idea. That's just, like, directions. It's not even, it had no meaning because we had, and it's crazy because this is what we do for people. We know that you can't walk into a gym with, I'm going to work out, and that be your idea. We know that that doesn't give you an effective workout. It wastes time. It creates stress. I mean, we know this, and it's crazy that, like, I didn't see it coming. Like, I thought that plan was fine. That plan that was really not a plan was fine. And so with no plan, like, decisions are literally endless. Besides, working around the weather, which changes daily and weekly, like, we could just really have gone anywhere. And what did we do? We really ended up, like if you have no plan going into the gym, you do the 3 or 4 exercises you're comfortable with. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do some bench press, I'm going to do some sit-ups, I'm going to ride the bike for a minute, and you do that every day. What did we do? We've spent several months in the same town that we moved out of.
Not all in a row, but we went on that trip to Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. We came back.
And we would come back several times, and we did what was comfortable. We did what we knew, and I think that, like, yeah, like that was not our vision. Like
Right.
moving out of the house was to like live in the RV park down the road. That's not what we wanted for
Right.
this at all.
You're not going to see that on Instagram
Yeah, I mean,
any day from somebody
and-
living in an Airstream.
Yeah, and I think like overall, like the idea that we had and the vision you think of when you're like, when every time we told somebody like, oh my gosh, you're living the dream, it's amazing. Like they picture this Airstream rolling into the mountains, like with beautiful
on the
things.
edge of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, and like then you're just stopping and like having a picnic out there,
Yeah.
and like while you're trying to run a business, keep up with your health and fitness, and manage your budget.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the reality, and it's more living in RV parks for weeks or months at a time. And we've definitely experienced some cool cities
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of new experiences
Yeah,
even with
but
all that.
I would say it's not what we thought when we moved out of the house. But
So all that said, like, so are we going to stop right now? No, I think
No.
we're going to like adjust our expectations and adjust our game plan.
Yeah.
To try to create the extra time for those extra things that we want to do to continue to grow the business, relieve some of the decision fatigue, and keep the budget under
Yeah.
control.
Yep. So what we're gonna do, I've booked. We have a place to stay through November. It is what month is it?
We're in August.
It is mid-August right now, so that's huge. And so we know where we know where we're going, we know where we're staying, and we know how to get there.
We even have reservations on the way
I
as we
know.
get there.
So I'm excited about it. We're not giving up yet.
Yeah. We're going to use this technique that our friend Brad told us about called plant the flag, where you do go to a city that you want to be in and you pay the monthly rate at an RV park, and then you give yourself permission to take some little side trips
Yeah.
here and there, because it's so much cheaper to pay for a month that you have wiggle room
Yeah.
to go pay the daily rate several times versus paying the daily rate every single day
Yeah.
through the month, and all of a sudden you spent like $4,000 or $5,000 that month on RV parks.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and I would say like ultimately, I've quickly realized that like I was never like a person. I didn't really. I think I've said this a million times on the podcast. Like I didn't grow up taking vacations. I'm not like a vacationer. I like my routine, and
We like to work,
I like
too.
to work. Yeah. So what we want to prioritize work, and we were trying to push ourselves out of our comfort zone to even to do this and have this experience while we like saved up money and thought that we could like meet clients and things like that. But
And that's not off the table.
Right. But we're going to prioritize like staying in one place for a longer period of time so that we can get in a routine, continue to build digital barbell, get in a routine with our health and fitness, and also I prioritize being around people that we love and know.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that we're in places that we can do that as well.
Yeah. I'm excited for the future. I feel good, having talked through this, been honest with ourselves about not just like what's the expectation for what we should be doing, but
Yeah.
what fits our lifestyle, and then taking steps that align with that. There's definitely a lot of peace
Yeah.
in doing that.
Yeah, but speaking of special projects, we do have some things on the horizon already. So we are going to be launching two things. We're going to be launching a beginner strength program. So if you're a newbie to this, then we can help guide you into the gym 3 days a week for 8 weeks. A newbie strength program. You can expect that to drop, I think, the day after Labor Day, September 2nd. And then we're going to have a women's only group nutrition coaching group.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first time we've ever done a group coaching
Program. Yeah. It's always been one-on-one.
Right. And so I'm really excited about it, about getting like a group of women together. Our coach Haley is going to guide the women through 8 weeks of
It's basically sustainable habit building for nutrition,
Yeah.
and like problem solving with the real life situations of why you haven't been able to stick with something in the past.
yeah, and it's going to be for women who, basically what to do, like and it's just you're going to have a supportive group around you to help you do that, and it's not going to be involved with, you're not going to be logging your food in MyFitnessPal and things like that. You're going to learn sustainable habits that you can take with you and use for yourself from there on, and use for your family and educate them after the 8 weeks is done.
And that one's going to start September 15th.
Yep.
So, like, again, the beginner strength training program, September 2nd. That's going to be $147 for all 8 weeks. You'll see all your workouts in the app that we use to coach all of our custom clients through too. and then the nutrition
Yeah.
program or group coaching on September 15th.
Yeah, and on the beginner strength program, since this is a beginner program, it's going to be an uncoached program, but since you're a beginner, you're going to get like a video check-in on the first week and the fifth week just to make sure that you're moving right. So on that first week, we're going to encourage you guys to like send us a video clip of like your squats and your presses and your rows and the things that you're doing, so we can make sure that you're moving correctly and moving, with the correct weight, and so that you're really making progress throughout this. And on week 5, we're going to check back in just to make sure everything's still looking right before you finish out that full 8 weeks.
And registration for the strength program will open up the week before it starts. Same with the group nutrition coaching program. The webpage for both are not live yet, but if you click on the link in the description of this episode, you can send me an email. I'll make sure you get on our email list because we're going to offer a discount for the first few people that sign up also. You'll be the first to know about it.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for joining. If you're not already subscribed to our podcast or this YouTube channel, if you're watching us live on YouTube, make sure you do that before you go. Thanks a lot.